Hey guys, my name is Mark. I live in Lehi, Utah. This is just outside of Salt Lake City. I've been a big guy my whole life and I am trying to science the hell out of it. About a year ago, I started my Mounjaro journey. Well, year and a few weeks probably. But Mounjaro, it's a medication that contains a GLP agonist as well as a glucagon agonist. And these are hormones that can help you control diabetes. And they also have found that they can help people to lose weight, in some cases quite a significant amount of weight. Being a diabetic, my doctor was on board with me trying to use this product. They also have a version prescribed for weight loss called Zepbound, which is the same thing. It's just a different marketing name, but it's exactly the same medication from Eli Lilly. So on August 16th of 2023, I started this out. So I spent 1 month on 5 milligrams. And so what they do is they have you titrate up this as you get used to it, then you can go up to a higher level. And so I spent a month on that, and then I spent 2 months on this one, the 7.5 milligrams, and then I spent 9 months on 10 milligrams, and now I am on my third shot of 12.5 milligrams. Now, the way they distribute these is they give you these pens that you keep refrigerated, and you take this off and to expose the needle, and then you just turn the dial and you put it on a fatty part of your body. I usually use my thigh. Some people like to use their abdomen. And then you press the button down and you hold it until you hear it finish and it retracts. You hear a click. And so it's pretty easy to use. And then you can just put this back on and you don't have to worry about getting poked or anything. And you can then take care of disposing of that. So before I started, just so you can see what it was like when I started, my A1C was 6.0. I weighed 468 pounds. And before I started, I actually had been working on losing some weight. I had been losing about a pound a week for quite a while. I had lost 83 pounds over 18 months. And the way I basically was doing that before this was I was eating lower carbs, I was doing alternate day fasting, and I was also trying to get more exercise. I got a SwimSpa, do some swimming, those kinds of things. Now, when I first started using this, it was a little bit expensive too. This can be a very expensive medication. I was paying out of pocket for the first half year that I was using this. There's coupons available, so you can get a little bit of help off of it, but it could be several $100s a month, uh, almost $1,000 in some cases to pay for this yourself. Now, after 6 months, I finally got my insurance to approve it and start to cover it. And I'll tell you what, I felt like a bank robber when I first went and I got that box and I paid zero for that thing. I was just like, woohoo, because it had been it's such an expensive medication before that. So now on these, and you'll notice when they have you titrate up, they're doing that because you need to get used to it because it does have some side effects. Um, there were weeks when I had absolutely horrific side effects. Um, Main ones I experienced were some diarrhea issues, some sulfur burps, um, where you just kind of burp and it's just kind of like, anyway, I call them sulfur burps. Other people call them other things. I definitely get some tiredness. Usually the day after I do a shot, I'll be a little bit tired. And then there were other weeks where I wondered, did the shot even work? Did I misfire? Because I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. I also had to deal over this year with shortages several times. You know, a couple times I had to stretch my shots to cover. In fact, this last batch with 12.5, it took them it took them a few weeks till I got this in stock. So I the last month and a half I was kind of stretching things out to last because I didn't want to get another box of 10. I just wanted to get this. So they say there's no shortage now, but it still seems a little spotty if you ask me. But definitely not a perfect supply at times. There were a couple times that I had insurance issues. There were a couple times when the store just didn't have it. So anyway, so that's kind of the stuff that I went through with this medication. But let's talk about the results. So after a year, was it worth it? Am I glad that I did Mounjaro? So let's talk about diabetes first. So before Mounjaro, I so the first time I got diabetes, it was during COVID, and we were on lockdowns. And I went, and I'd never had diabetes before that, or I'd never even had. They never even told me to worry about blood sugars, but I went and got tested, and I guess my body just finally said enough is enough, and my A1C was a 10.0, which is pretty high. And so my doctor put me on metformin and Steglatro, and using that, and then I also managed. I I like read up on this. How do I control this? And the way you control the diabetes, a lot of them is like you lower carbs, so you clear sugars. The carbs you do eat should be more vegetables and good healthy stuff, right? So using that, I managed to get my A1C down to a 6. Um, he had me try switching from Sriracha to Jardiance, again, still with metformin. And again, it was a 6. And I was getting a little bit of side effects from metformin. I'd get a little brain fog. So I was supplementing with vitamin B, and that would kind of help take care of that. And I also noticed that metformin, if you eat it on empty stomachs, like the days I was fasting, kind of caused some stomach issues. So when I started using Mounjaro, um, I saw, using the glucose monitor that I wear, I saw my blood sugars looking better. So I'm like, I wanted to try it without the metformin. So I kind of quit taking, and I don't advise this. Do what your doctor talks to you about, right? It's between you and your doctor. But I quit taking the metformin just to see what would happen. And the Mounjaro by itself um, did phenomenal. In fact, over this last year, I've gone for 2 6-month visits with my doctor, and both of them my A1C came back as a 5.0. So a lot better than what it was with the other medications. So the main purpose of this medication is for controlling diabetes. So as far as that goes, I would say it is phenomenal. I mean, um, it just works so much better, and I can see it with my monitor as I've used this. And then it does seem though that after time it kind of wanes off the effect a little bit, but then as I've titrated up every time, my diabetes has come back in check. Like just recently, as I've switched to the 12.5, I start seeing my glucose kind of hanging out below 100 again on when just like the normal kind of resting point. You spike up when you eat, or when you fast, it comes down, but you get like this resting point. And now with the 12.5, it seems like I'm kind of below 100 again. So pretty good. Um, Before I was using this, you get a lot of side effects from diabetes, right? You get and I was having some of them. You get some tingling in your fingers and toes. I think it causes some inflammation, which causes some circulation issues. You get some swelling in your legs. Um, the tingling for me is with the Mounjaro is completely gone now. My swelling in my legs is I still get a little bit. I'm not sure it's completely all related to diabetes, but um, it's definitely reduced. So as a diabetes med, I mean, everyone's different for sure, but for me, it has been absolutely awesome. So let's talk about the weight loss side. Um, Now, one thing that you'll find as you start going into the forums, a lot of people that are um, diabetics don't seem to lose as well as the ones that are not diabetics. And I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because if you've got insulin in your bloodstream, and if you're diabetic, you're resistant to insulin more or less, type 2 diabetes. If you've got that in your bloodstream, then you can't really use your fat. And so if you're already not diabetic and you use these, and it lowers your blood sugars even more, then it's going to be easier for you to lose weight. But I'm not a super loser. But some people, I mean, they could still lose weight no matter what. But I didn't just drop like a rock like some people do. Um, but in a year, I've lost 62 pounds. So I'm down 62 pounds from when I started. So, and even though it's a year and 3 weeks, it's still I've kind of hit a plateau for the last 5 or 6 weeks, so I've been kind of right around the same spot, and it seems like it's kind of picking up again now that I've switched to the 12.5. So, but anyways, that's still over a pound a week, which is kind of similar to what I was doing before. But I'll tell you what, I think it did help. I think if I hadn't been using this, I probably wouldn't have kept losing that fast. I see on my CGM the blood sugars behaving better, which helps you to be able to utilize your fat. And on the fast days, one of the things this does is it suppresses your appetite a little bit. Not that it makes you so you're not hungry, but it makes you so you feel full. And it makes fasting days, if you're doing alternate day fasting, like much easier, like a breeze. And it's interesting too, guys. I honestly could say before I use this, I never felt full in my life. I mean, I could eat a whole pizza, I could eat a big bag of Doritos, and I tried not to, and it wasn't like I was starving or anything, but like I never would get to this point where my body's like, okay, we're good. I never would get that, but with this medication, I feel that, and it's like, oh, so this is what it's like to feel full, because like there's that you always see people that oh I can't eat anymore, I'm just stuffed, I'm full. I had to absolutely, I never had that feeling. So it's been pretty, I'm really pretty pleased with this medication. Um, Now, and I only lost a pound a week, but also to be fair to the medication, I sabotaged myself quite a few times due to, I always have a hard time, well, holidays, right? But then like whenever I travel and with camping and holidays, and over this last year, we went to Disneyland, we went to Mexico, we went to Texas for the eclipse. I've been to my in-laws in Idaho a couple times. I've been to uh, uh, my work headquarters is in Idaho. I've been there a couple times. We've been camping several times, and so it kind of sabotages it a little bit. For whatever reason, I don't travel very well. So, anyways, but how about apart from the pounds? So, since I started using this, I legitimately have lost 12 inches off my waist. So, pretty pretty significant. I have clothes that I had in bins that I just have been in there for years that I can pull them out now and they fit. People told me how noticeable it is. So definitely not only the actual scale numbers, but the everything else. It really feels like it's working. And um, so overall, I'm down when you add what I'd lost before and what I've lost now, 150 pounds. So, and 60 plus of that was on Mounjaro. So kind of life changing. It's been slow progress over a couple of years, but you know life just keeps getting better and better. And a lot of the things I struggled with, I don't have to deal with anymore. And if you guys haven't been severely overweight, I mean, I legit had to. I struggled with basic life things like, um, as a guy using the stand up urinals. When you get to a certain point, the the pants you wear, um, they don't make like zippers that go all the way down over your fat. So they don't have like super long zippers. So it's like you have to kind of go up and over, and at some point it doesn't work as well. Seat belts in cars. I would get in cars and I couldn't get the seatbelt to click in. Um, I don't seem to have that problem anymore, just with where I'm at now. So um, chairs in conference rooms at work would hurt they dig into my thighs. um, I broke so many chairs at my desk. I probably was on the legit path of dying, honestly, guys. And so overall, I think it's been a blessing. um, it's definitely been a journey, and I'm so thankful my doctor was on board. And if you're in a similar situation, definitely talk with your doctor, of course, and see if it's for you and give it a try. It's been really significant for me. Anyhow, so there you guys go. that's a full year. I've been doing as many weekly updates over the last year as I could, so you can go back and you can see, my week one, my week, all these weeks. And I missed a week here and there, and I actually have missed the last few weeks. So I've been really, really kind of bad. But I mean, you guys can see what I was doing, and sometimes you drop, sometimes you plateau, sometimes you even come back a little, especially me when I travel. Um, but yeah, so so going forward, with this, the YouTube updates, right? I mostly done this for myself, to be honest. Having to come on here and do an update when it didn't go so well, it kind of keeps you on the wagon, keeps you wanting to keep pushing. And I've tried to be absolutely honest with you guys, not make stuff up, just tell it how it is. And honestly, I'm surprised how many people have kind of watched it. And I'm not talking huge numbers, like I'm not thousands or anything, but I'm just an average overweight nerd trying to battle down some weight. And um, anyway, so I think I'm going to try to simplify this a little bit, just so I can be a little bit more regular and getting these updates up and quickly out. And then also I started trying to add all these segments in to, because I felt like, oh, that these people are really interested. I should give them some additional content. And what I think I need to do, though, is I need to just keep the updates to the updates, and then kind of maybe break the other things out. So I'm going to try to do biweekly at least updates, and I'll just do my update on week, XX. So maybe it'll be a weekly, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, somewhere in there. I'll try to do fairly regular, just updates on how it's going with the weight. Still, I figure 150 pounds to lose. So I figure I'm about halfway there, and then I'll have the other things. I'll just kind of put in their own little segments, and if you're interested in it, cool, check it out. I'm not making any money or anything. I'm just sharing what I'm trying. If you're not, don't worry about it. And if you don't want to watch any of it, that's fine too. It's like, but like I think I'm gonna try to do, one segment. Like I'll just do fat guy versus world, where I'll put the things in like, does a fat guy fit in a Cybertruck, for example, or how do you mitigate sitting in an airline seat, or those kinds of things. Now, as I get smaller, hopefully I don't even have any opportunities for these anymore, but I'm still 400 pounds. So if I get smaller, then I can't do that anymore. I'm totally good with that. Then I'll do, fat fighting food segments, where I'll do, things like, freeze dried cherry tomatoes, which are pretty good. They're pretty tasty, and or zero sugar, beef jerky, just things that you can do to, good snacks or good meals, and kind of share some of the things I'm doing there. Maybe some protein creamies, those kinds of things. Um, and I might even take some of the segments out that I've done before and kind of put them out there, so if people are interested, they can see those things. Again, it's just, if you want to check them out, you can. Those kinds of things. So I got to make sure I have enough time to get my job done. I still have to work for a living. I'm not a YouTube millionaire by any means. I have to make sure I have time for my wife and my girls, and taking care of myself, getting my exercise in, that kind of stuff. So I thank you guys for supporting me, though. I mean, I don't make any money off YouTube, and I do the updates for, cherry tomato in my mouth though. Selfish reasons, but you guys have, a lot of the comments been super uplifting, and really appreciate you guys, and huge thanks for that. So anyway, it's been a journey. Still have 150 pounds to go, so gonna keep fighting at it. And I'm on the 12.5 now. They do have one higher dose available. It's 15. I'm gonna try to probably be on this for a few months, several months, and we'll see how it goes. I am flying to Thailand tomorrow, so that's gonna be kind of crazy. I don't travel well, so I'll probably end up coming back, and I'm there for a week and a half. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if I come back and I'm up 10 to 20 pounds. But then once I get back, then I'm really gonna try to focus and clean things up. So anyhow, I hope you guys are having, if you guys are battling the same thing, having success, and keep fighting the fat. Cheers.